It is week number 10 in the college football season 2025 as we flip the calendars to November. Thank you for tuning in and checking us out. Welcome to Wagers on Campus, your college football podcast, where we break down the games every single week. We talk betting angles, we talk sides, we talk totals, and we're here just to have a good time. But thanks for checking us out. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not already. Check us out on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. That would be greatly appreciated. And hello, everyone. This is Mayor, and I am here with Xander.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, indeed. How was college game day in Nashville, Tennessee?
Oh man, it was awesome. It was awesome. Very well set up. The area that they picked for game day, so it was easy to kind of move around on the outsides of it and experience it. So obviously not a fan of either team, so it was more of just going for the environment and experiencing it here in Nashville for the first time in almost 20 years. So they really brought the heat. Although it's just tough to love a team, not a team because they're scrappy. Tough to love a program when you see signs like our graduates make more than your coaches. It's like I want to root for you, Vanderbilt, but you just have these cocksuckers making signs like that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just like, oh, you can't even talk shit. You just like have to be just pompous. So I was not happy with that. But other than that, Kenny Chesney, saw him. That was cool.
Yeah. Kenny on game day. I saw Dirk Bentley performed a couple songs. It was
We
great
were
to see
not
him
there
in
at
Nashville.
Yeah, we were not there at I didn't realize he would be kicking off the show. So Miss Dirk, Scott Kenny.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just great to see him in Nashville. And then, of course, Vanderbilt was able to find a way to win that football game against Mizzou 17-10. We will discuss, obviously, this week's games. But before we do, where do you want to start here?
Well, you had a little trip to the armpit of the Northeast, Pittsburgh, this week. How was that? That was also football related, but for the guys on Sunday.
Yeah. Shout out to the Burgh. It was a great time. It was
All right.
my
I regret asking you.
it was my first time in Pittsburgh, and it was a good time. I went to Frick Park Market and checked out Mac Miller's old stomping grounds, and that was a really cool and meaningful experience. And went to the Pittsburgh Penguins hockey game on Saturday night. So it was cool to see a game there. And then, of course, Packers, Steelers, Sunday Night Football. Phenomenal time. I'm a Packers fan. Great to see him win. And yeah, just been quality time out there. So it was a real good time, man.
Did you get a chance to watch any college football on Saturday?
A little bit, yeah. I got to watch a decent amount of the afternoon slate. So
Okay.
Vanderbilt, Mizzou, Alabama, South Carolina. Those are the two main games I was watching.
Where'd you guys go for that slate of games?
Oh, we went to this bar called Super Bowl right
Okay.
outside the Penguins Arena.
Nice. Is it still Mellon Arena?
PNG, I think.
Oh, PNG now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's all right. They suck. I'm sure they won though, didn't they?
Columbus in a shootout.
Whoa. Okay. The Blue Jackets. I'm sure you didn't know Columbus had an NHL team.
I did. I did know that they had
Oh, okay.
nice try though, pal. Yeah. So yeah, it went to a shootout, and Columbus scored 2 goals in a row, as did the Penguins. So no goalie could stop each other, and then Columbus finally won on the third round.
Solid. Yeah, shout out to your Packers. Did bet them live at plus 105. Thank you, J Love.
You look good.
Yep. Well, still need to get a wide receiver cooking. Tucker Kraft can't be carrying everyone, although he's a beast.
They're fine. Christian Watson, hello, welcome
Yes.
back.
Yep. Welcome back, Mr. Watson. Okay. You want to lay out what we'll be covering on today's show?
Yeah, sure. So we're going to recap what we saw in week 9 just a little bit, and then we're going to cover 6 big games going into week number 10. We got 6 games that we feel are of note that are worth discussing, and then 6 games on the SICKO slate. We're going to talk Mac Messiah as that continues to roll on with a light slate of 2 games, and then we also have a teaser, a pleaser, and a quad box parlay. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Great. As always, we go back to the betting recap, and the boys steered the ship back to prosperity this week, both hitting locks, positive. Love going, we're just on a streak of like 0-2 or 2-0.
100%.
We need more 2-0 streaks. Let's get that streak rolling.
Agreed. So you are now up 11 units on the entire season with a record of 89, 79, and 1. Like you said, your lock hit that puts you at 5 and 4 on the year. And then last week, you went 11 and 9. You were up a little over 4.5 units. Thoughts, takeaways on your card?
Yep, all my best bets hit. I was tussling between that Auburn game and that USF Memphis game, and they gave me a little bit of a scare. I mean, that over was in green circle territory the entire time, like comfortably green. And then all of a sudden, we're still not over with like 5 minutes to go in the fourth. And boys, what's going on here? Like USF was one stop away from like kneeling that ball out and getting us on the under. So yeah, felt good to hit all the best bets. Obviously, we both had the same best bet with Vanderbilt. Both felt the same about that. And yeah, a couple stinkers in there, but we don't need to worry about them. We're past it. All I'll say is this, and we'll talk about it here. I didn't even mention them in my winners or losers for the week that we'll talk about. I'm not even betting, but I'm not even wasting another second of my precious eyesight on the Michigan State Spartans. It's the worst product I've ever laid my eyes on, and they just stink. Awful, awful product up there in East Lansing.
But they did cover.
Yeah, who cares? It was a backdoor cover. They didn't deserve it. Like, they should have been playing for the win. Just like, it was a ridiculous showing. I can't even.
What's your gripe? Just horrific play?
Yes, horrific play calling. Like the 4th down calls are just so bizarre. Just like a defense that is stout, you just try to run it up the middle for 2 yards. Like they could have kicked back-to-back field goals to make it a 1-score game. Oh, buddy. And they, of course, once they bring in the backup kid, the freshman, he drives the ball down the field. Michigan, of course, probably had some backups in as well. And this is coming from someone that only had Michigan State in like round robins. Didn't even have a meaningful bet on the game. Really, it's just watching them was so frustrating that, no wonder why they stink.
So not a Jonathan Smith guy at the moment.
Yeah, good luck to whoever picks him up next season.
Ooh, that would be a quick time at East Lansing. Only 2 years in. Get the boot. All right. Well, my week was fine, I guess. 4-4-1, up 0.6 units. My lock did come through with Vanderbilt. 4-5 on the year. Season record down 12.45 units. Yikes. Hopefully I can turn that around the remaining 5 weeks of the regular season here. My season record 37, 42, and 3. As far as my winners go, Iowa, so easy.
Great
Ole
ad.
Miss,
Great ad.
Thank you. Ole Miss, it made me a little uncomfy because everyone I listened to, seriously, was on Oklahoma in some way, shape, or form. So I just listened to my gut. Glad I was right there. Ole Miss gets the job done with the outright win. Texas A&M, -2.5. They ended up obliterating LSU and felt a little bit fortunate on Vanderbilt, but I'll take it. And as far as the losers go, They were just bad losers. They really were across the board. Kentucky plus 9.5 against Tennessee. I mean, where do I even start? Oh my God. I don't know. I just expected better. USF minus 5.5 against Memphis. Burns. I was watching the game or following the game. It was 31-17. I felt pretty good. And then all of a sudden I checked my phone an hour later and I see Memphis won. So don't really know what to say about that one. NC State against Pitt. That was a bad bet. Bama laying 11.5 against South Carolina. I mean, just an immature performance, I guess, by Bama. Like, I don't really know why they didn't cover that game because South Carolina sucks, but they didn't. And got lucky with Texas minus 7 against Mississippi State for that to push. So,
Third push of the year. Call you the push king.
You could.
Three pushes in one season is crazy.
Yeah. So it was an all right week. I'm happy to be profitable. I wish I would have put more on Iowa, but it is what it is. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I texted you and giving you updates. You weren't quite sitting down for that game yet, and I go, but if you looking at Iowa, it's fucking 31-0 with 14 minutes to play in the second quarter. Insane offensive explosion. And then, in typical Iowa fashion, they almost got home for the under with me. I had under 39.5. The game ends at 41 total points after 31 in the first 15 minutes.
Damn.
You're
like, oh shit, we got a chance.
Yeah, it was either put me away early or I was like, if we get into the second half, this might have some legs that they just completely parked the bus. And it did, but there was a score there at the end. That sucks.
Is Iowa Oregon 2 weeks from now? Like next week?
2 weeks from now.
Oh my God. Is Iowa live?
Very live. Very, very live. At Kinnick.
You kidding me?
Blackout game at night.
I mean, should we bet Iowa to make the playoff?
I already did. It's in my. I've got them at plus 600.
Plus 600.
But they're probably. I think they were plus 1,000 right now.
Wow.
So not exactly
teaser.
A great bet.
Teaser. It loses. Apparently, I went 3-0 again. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. Ho hum. Just went 3-0 again. No big deal.
Who were my picks? Who were the picks? I don't even remember.
Let me see if I have the results here. There they are. Bama. Oh, Bama snuck you out of there. Michigan State snuck you out of there. Oh, I think they were covering with that teaser spot anyway. And then Kansas State, easy one. You never changed, so kept it at Kansas State. I was on the right side of that one, and then Minnesota gets their doors blown off, and same with UVA. Just a weird game there in Chapel Hill.
Yes. Carolina comes up short by like half an inch.
2-point conversion. Yep. Yeah, when they showed highlights of that, it was like, can we get a review on that?
Mm-hmm.
He looked good.
Money line underdog lay goes 2 for 4. That's pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah, but 2 for 4 doesn't pay any bills.
No.
Yep. We Illinois, I mean, we both we started off hot. Akron and Rice hit, and we were very live. Whew. And then Illinois is just hanging around in Washington, and then Washington pulls away, and that was the end of it. And then before that game was over, LSU's just hanging around the first half. I was like, Jesus. It's kind of a good play, and then it wasn't. It's good play until it wasn't.
For sure. 82-1. Sometimes that'll happen.
Exactly.
All right. Week 9 recap. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Winners, obviously. Vanderbilt. Host College game day. You win the big game. You're 7-1, number 9 in the country. Tough not to tip your hat and say they're the biggest winner of Week 9. Obviously tough to see Bo Prabula go out. Hate to see any injuries. Missouri just can't catch a break. But yeah, Vandy, what do you think about their performance this week?
Well, I guess I would ask you, as someone who is really dialed in and watched, I'm assuming, every play of the game. It's great that they got the win. Are you concerned about any of their style of play? Like, did they look not as good, or anything that would cause for concern as we move forward?
I think a lot of people call November the March of the Fall. Survive in advance. I think that's what they call, March of the Fall. So
I don't think anyone calls it that.
I think everyone calls it that. So Vanderbilt's surviving and advancing. That's what good teams do. When each side picks the other side up. And I feel like this is not just a team of destiny. It's actually a good team, good physical team that's available to just outman anyone on the other side of the field. And we're going to be on them again as an underdog to Texas because, boy, Texas is just, I'm out on. They're the new LSU. I've officially sold out on LSU stock. I have nothing left to give to them. So now I'm selling all my Texas stock.
Fair. And I understand what you're saying. Sometimes you just got to find a way to win the game, but nothing was concerning. It was just a physical game, and they got the win, and that's really all there is to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think also a takeaway is how good Missouri's defense was, because it truly was back and forth, just physical. There was some movement, so it wasn't just 3-and-outs from each side in like a turnover fest. Like there was some movement happening, and then it was just like drives would stop, and it was a punt. And I just think two physical offenses of two of the better teams in the SEC. I think Missouri's not done yet, even without their quarterback. Still think a healthy run game and healthy defense on Missouri could make some noise before it's all said and done.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thrilled to see Vandy win the game and put themselves in a position to, continue to build this week against Texas. We'll get into that.
And all my futures, I'm just every week I look at them like, all right, getting closer.
Yeah.
There will be a hedge in the SEC championship if they make it there.
Okay.
125 to 1. I'm not letting ride on one game.
Fair enough.
Indiana, boy, UCLA, what a story that was for 3 weeks. We'll always have that 3 weeks in October.
Yeah.
And man, that was a great story. But they're just back to what they were. That might be the craziest, like, when you encapsulate those 3 weeks of football we may have ever seen. So Indiana just thumped UCLA 56-6. They're continuing to steamroll, and there's no one to stop them until the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, let me see here. Pulling up their schedule. They got at Maryland this week, then they're at Penn State, and then they host Wisconsin, and then they're at Purdue. So, yeah, they're probably running the table. Indiana's incredible. They really are very good, and just can't wait to see them in the playoff and see what they do this year, quite frankly.
I agree. It's going to be fun. And the other winner, Florida. Lane Kiffin's going to Florida. So, congrats to your fans.
What? To my fans.
No, I'm talking to Florida. They're under the winners category. I guess you're the state of Florida.
Why is Lane going to Florida?
I can tell from his just nonchalantness about non-officially turning it down. Just saying, like, life's pretty good here. Lane's going to Florida. And him continuing to win, that's why you're in the winners category, Florida, because you're going to get yourself the hottest coach in the carousel. Congratulations.
Okay. Interesting take. Really good take. Do you think he's going to take Trinidad with him?
No, probably Austin Simmons. Isn't Trinidad? What year is he?
I know he came from Ferris State. I don't know what year he is though. Trinidad Chambliss. He's a hell of a
Yeah,
quarterback.
he's in his final year of eligibility.
Dang, it's
Yeah.
a bummer.
Yep. Uh, yeah. So losers, Shane Beamer. Uh, I mean, not going for two to extend this to a two possession game in the fourth quarter is outside of your fucking mind. Like, I don't understand it. You're an underdog at home. This is a game defining opportunity in your season that's been so lackluster from all the preseason hype. And Alabama just runs down, scores, ties it up with the 2 point conversion. All the momentum's now gone. You fumble, game over. Uh, I just, you have a different style of play when you're down two possessions in the fourth quarter. Play a little bit more urgency because you have to get the ball twice. He's just, I just didn't buy into the preseason hype, and I'm not buying into the current season hype. He might be gone as a mutual thing and go take the Virginia Tech job, but he's the biggest loser of the week.
Fair.
Any
Yeah.
thoughts? You said you were able to watch that Alabama game.
Watched a little bit of it.
Okay.
There's a couple TVs in the corner of the bar and a very loud bar with lots of Penguins fans slamming beers.
That's fair. Those Yinzers know how to put them down.
They do.
And then obviously we wouldn't be remiss if we weren't talking about another coaching firing, Brian Kelly. It happened. We've been talking about it, but it happened. Do you think he gets fired if they don't have the worst half of SEC football I've ever seen in my 35 years on this earth?
No, not after the game. I
Yeah.
think LSU had to win. I think he would have been fired in any capacity of if they would have lost the game, which obviously they did.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my take.
Okay. Yeah, it seemed like this has been foretold, minus the national championship. Like the fan base fit. He was already on a very thin line as one of the winningest coaches in the last 4 years. He has a Heisman Trophy winner on his team. Like the results besides a national championship are there, and I guess an SEC championship. But yeah, you can't go an offseason with getting the offensive weapons you had and just completely ignore your offensive line and thus ignoring the run game. And it feels like this was something that just needed to happen, and all the transfer shit just ripped the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, man. I mean, we were both super high on LSU coming into the year. This was a season with massive expectations. They start the year with a huge win on the road against a very highly ranked Clemson team at the time. And, every test that they had, they failed, whether it was the Ole Miss game or the Vanderbilt game, and then here most recently the A&M game. The writing has been on the wall pretty much since the beginning of the year from the standpoint of, oh shit, this LSU team might have some serious problems offensively, and they were never able to fix it. So here we are, and I think everyone's just fed up with LSU being a good but not great team.
Missed a big opportunity. I only tweeted it out. I should have made a meme. Get ready to learn studio analyst, buddy, before that second half was even over. Thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I saw it
Because,
on X.
I mean, is anyone going to pick him up this carousel? Because that rolls into my next losers category. Guys, we're starting to fire too much. Like, who do we think is going to take over these roles? Like, there was a fucking Michigan State dumbass on Sports Talk Radio saying, get Saban back in here for 2 years as a mentor to bring back like some defensive coordinator and everything. And I don't know what fan base needs to hear this, but Nick Saban is not coming back to save your school. He would come back to Alabama, and that's it. He's not going to reset a program at 72 years old. Like, I don't know who needs to hear that, but that's it.
You don't think Saban would go to like a big time program
No,
that's not Bama?
no. There's no point. Tarnish your legacy with a risk. And, like, you're already so built up in this mythological figure in the South. There's no point to get back into the mud trying to build something back up. You just take the keys back from DeBoer, left Alabama on the side of the road. I still listen. This is a sidetrack. Obviously, we do that a lot here, but they're not out of the woods yet. I still see like they are minus 600 to make the playoff. Like they can still end this season with 3 losses.
I agree, dude. I don't think Bama is some world beating team. Matter of fact, I think they're fortunate to have the record that they have.
Like LSU, Oklahoma. I know LSU, but now they have the dead cat bounce situation where a new head coach is actually from Louisiana, and the players love the head coach. Obviously, Eastern Illinois in there. Shout out Tony Romo. No
And Sean
homo.
and Sean Payton.
And Garoppolo.
Ayo.
And then Auburn, the Iron Bowl. So, I mean, those are 3 legit SEC contenders in talent wise. You're not telling me they could lose. And that's at Auburn. Auburn's going to win a football game.
No, they could. They almost lost to fucking South Carolina this weekend.
Yeah.
They
So
they played close against Mizzou. They played close against Georgia. They've had a ton of close games.
yeah. So listen, I mean Lane Kiffin, and then Summerall from Tulane, but then like who's backfilling that? John Gruden wants to get back into coaching, but like this is a big time fork in the road. Grass isn't always greener. Time to start looking at the product on the field and not the head coach on the sideline for some of these programs, and start taking some accountability. That's really what it comes down to. And we have to do him justice. There was another firing, Jay Norvell, Colorado State. So I have a feeling the Norvell Christmas is not going to be very pleasant.
Yeah.
Because his brother might be joining him in that at the end of the season.
Sure. I mean, is there any firings up to this point that you disagree with?
Brian Kelly, I listen. It was just a bad construct of the team, but it seemed like a bad fit. Napier stinks. Yeah, James Franklin too. We talked about that. Just expectations. Like if you can't weather an 8-4 season, 7-5 season, it's like there's just no realistic expectations in your body. That's what it comes down to. There's only one champion every year, 136 teams.
You think Clark Lee would ever leave Vanderbilt?
No. Nope. This is his like Woody Hayes, Lou Holtz, like this is his like for 40 years. Kirk Ferentz.
Hope you're right.
I mean, everything that he's said and the money that they can produce to keep him and pay him as long as the results are there, it's like there's no point for him to leave. This is a perfect situation. And the prestige that you can build is far more rewarding than just hopping ship and taking over the keys to a car that's already ready to go.
Speaking of keys, how about Brent Key?
Yeah, he's a big name too. He's a big name floating around there for a bigger program. And I would be concerning I'd be concerned if I was a Georgia Tech fan, because that's, like we said, one of the biggest markets in the entire country. Boy, what could that look like?
Yeah, man, he has the opportunity to stay in the South and potentially be going to like Auburn or Florida or Ole Miss.
Yeah, we shall see. And then, of course, Dillingham is a huge name. A lot of these young guys, Matt Campbell, he's got to be, after that comeback loss from BYU this past week, that was a pros and Joe's side. Everyone and their mom was on Iowa State at home. Jump out, double digit lead. You're like, oh, all right. This is one of those games where everyone's right. Wrong. Wrong. Nope. So it feels like that's Matt Campbell's, not his ceiling, but his ceiling at Iowa State was last season 11-2. It's like, he is one of the best, most genuine coaches out there. It's time for him to get his shot at a big program. So we'll see where he lands too.
You think Campbell is leaving?
For a bigger program, yes, luring away. Obviously,
Yeah,
not getting fired.
I agree with that. This has been a tough year for them.
Yeah, you could blame it on injuries and everything, but it's always injuries. And like when you don't have the depth, like that's what separates Iowa State from going to a Penn State, is you have just that little extra depth in your program, or like going to another. He wouldn't be the LSU guy, but seen a lot of Coach O rumors, not rumors, but clamorings, I should say.
Yeah, for sure.
Bring him back.
Yeah, that would be awesome. You get a team, yeah, that gets smoked with injuries, and you're in a position like Campbell, you're probably thinking, damn, if I just had a little bit more resources, few extra better players, like we could like maybe survive these types of stretches.
Yeah, for sure. All right, winners and losers of Week 9. Always great.
Oh yeah, good job.
What? Thanks. Oh, I can't even see that graphic. Do you see this? Do you see this net success rate graphic every week?
I saw it for the first time when Phil sent it in our group chat, and I thought it was very cool.
Yeah. So this is pretty good. I think the guy's name is Patrick. Stats of War or something. Tweets this out every week. And yeah, obviously there's times where you could be negative success rate. It like takes away all the noise. So like explosive plays, turnovers, like punts, and just more focuses on just successful football plays and how likely you are to win a football game with that operating. And so when you're above zero, like a positive net success, you have an 86% chance to win the game. Vanderbilt here was like -5 and won the game. So
Yep.
like 2 teams or 3 teams won the game with negative success rates this week. And it's an interesting stat. And he tweeted out too, there's like 3 teams, and we got to watch out here, Alex. Our boys have won 3 games this year with negative success rate. Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it's not shocking.
So they keep kind of hanging around and winning games they shouldn't. Maybe one of these plus money lines, their opponents, and maybe even this week, is something we need to take a look at.
Interesting thought.
Yep. But yeah, I'll try and figure out how to zoom in on that and get that going for next week, Week 10. But yeah, it's something to keep an eye out on, teams that keep skating by. Those are small nuggets that really help you win in games that you're maybe nervous about looking at in the slate ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Any other big recaps or something you wanted to touch on? Any games that stuck out last week in the short time you were able to watch?
Here, just give me 1 second. Won't drag this on too much longer, but beep 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 bop. Yeah, Oklahoma versus Ole Miss. Key takeaway for you. From what I saw of the game, which wasn't much, but just a little bit. Boy, Chambliss really can make some big time throws.
Yeah, for sure. He can, and Oklahoma didn't capitalize on opportunities that they had. I was very disappointed in the boys and the defense too. I thought underperformed what we were touting up in this defense. So yeah, it was a tough loss. I was on both under in Oklahoma again this past week, and that bit me in the ass as opposed to last week.
Yeah. And then the other one I'd want to ask you is, did you happen to watch any of the Colorado versus Utah game?
Like the first 5 minutes.
Okay. I mean, I know Colorado isn't good this year, but it's Coach Prime, and 53-7 was surprising to me. So,
Dude, I was watching whatever the other late game was, and I turned it back, and it's 40-0 in the first half.
oh my God.
It was insane. Like we were even talking about potentially betting Colorado, but I think they went 3-and-out their first 4 drives, and Utah's just like, all right, give me that,
Right.
and just mollywop their ass.
I saw
So,
Utah went with a freshman quarterback.
ooh,
Yeah, it was not Dampier.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
Dampy, a little hurt, gearing him up for. Well, they knew that maybe it was a Kent State situation. Just rest Dampier.
Right. Yeah, I think that's really it, though. We covered most of it.
Caden Salter 9 for 22, 37 yards passing.
Mm. That ain't gonna get it done.
14 rush attempts, -4 yards.
Sounds like a miserable day at the office.
Holy shit, that Utah quarterback had 150 yards rushing.
Burgh, Bird
Ficklin.
Ficklin.
Bard Ficklin.
Hell yeah.
All right, yeah. And shout out Houston, Willie Fritz. These boys might be legit. So they're underdogs. No, they're not. But they were underdogs that last week by a touchdown. That was a stinky line all week. So
Sure was.
what a wild 7-1 team with, I believe, 4.5 win total entering that season.
Wow. Wow.
And Miami struggled against Stanford 7-7 first half. I had over team total 40.5. Just mark that down as a loss. Just put the foot on the gas the second half. Gotta look good for the polls. 42-7. Thank you, Miami.
Hey.
Thank you, Miami. All right,
There
let's
we
get into
go.
the big games, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Woohoo.
Week 10, the big game slate. And we start in Austin, Texas. That's right. We got Music City versus Music City Light. Vanderbilt at Texas. Longhorns are laying 2 points at home. Over-unders 45.5. 11 a.m. Central, ABC. Kind of wish this game was a little bit later in the day. How about you?
Yeah, agreed. But
As far as the game goes, I know that you already lean Vanderbilt and have probably already bet them. Tell us why.
yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just when two teams are equally matched. I mean, both defenses, Texas is superior in their defensive ability to when you compare them head to head to Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt are no slouches. And when you have a Texas offense that has been absent from this entire season, 109th in offensive success, 110th in available yards, like 103rd in EPA of pass game. And then when you're in a situation where you're in your average third down is about 8 yards to go, 7.67 is their average third down. 6.7.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a team that I'm gonna get in week 10 and be like, okay, maybe let's turn it on now. And when you get Diego Pavia, you know exactly what you're getting out of the boy. And besides an Alabama backdoor cover, all this kid does is cover as a dog. All he does is cover as a dog. We've talked about it before. He's over 70% against the spread as an underdog with 10 outright wins, maybe 11 now with that LSU game. So I'm on Vanderbilt because I just can't trust Texas and Arch. Who knows what his status is? I think he's going to play. Got a little banged up at the end of that game. So I'm on Vanderbilt.
Yeah, what do you think what do you think is like the average amount? If you simulated this game 100 times, what do you think is like the average amount of points Texas scores in this game?
uh, between 17 and 23.
Yeah, I was going to say 20. So basically, Vandy, can they get above 20? I think is kind of the question. And
Yes,
of course they can, but I am a little concerned about them only scoring 17 against Mizzou last week.
sure. Very emotional game too. So, but that's a Missouri team that's way more complete than this Texas team, in my opinion. Back to back weeks, Texas has gone to overtime, and against two teams that we're talking Mississippi State and Kentucky. No offense, but like, what are we doing here? Like, Texas is not a SEC championship caliber team, and Vanderbilt is. And SEC championship caliber teams win these matchups on the road. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah. As far as myself goes, I do lean Vanderbilt as well with you. That would be my lean. But if I had to have a play, I think I'd play the under 45.5. I think you got two good defenses here and a struggling Texas offense all throughout the year. So I'd probably play the under.
That's razor thin margin there, pal. If you think Texas gets to 20,
I think on average they get to 20, but I think on average Vanderbilt is probably at about the same number.
okay, overtime.
On fucking average. Oh man, someone get this guy a fucking dictionary.
You talking median or mode here?
Exactly. Neither. The mean.
Okay,
Penn State at the Ohio State University. Coming into this year, this was one of the top 5 games of the year. Actually, I think ESPN had an article where this game was number 1 in terms of must-watch games heading into the college football year. And here we are, Burns, November 1st. Ohio State is a 20.5 point favorite at home, over under 44.5, 11 a.m. Central Fox. I'm imagining you're going to tell me that you think Ohio State covers this number.
wrong. Wrong. If I wasn't so damn stupid and emotional, I would have had an easy winner last week in Washington State. Instead, I changed my bet to Toledo because I talked shit to the Washington State flag holder at game day. And they were too nice. They were too damn nice as I was wearing my Toledo crew neck. But no one else is hurt on Penn State here. Everyone's healthy coming in preseason. It's a case of the yips. They're off a bye. This is already a game that I was concerned about, but was very confident in Ohio State winning because Drew Aller was there. Well, now you remove Drew Aller, and that could be a positive for Penn State as a guy that cannot win a big game. So 20.5 is way too many points for the roster that Penn State has. I think 20.5 is going to hit my card. This will be another first time ever, and I'm not changing this time. I just think Penn State is a team that will try and the only way that you can really keep up with Ohio State is to control time of possession. Luckily for Penn State, they do have, two running backs that can maneuver their way around. And let's not forget, I mean, that if everyone thinks Oregon's good, that Oregon game was in overtime. First half was 3-3. I'd lean under in this game. And I think Ohio State wins by double digits, 10. And I think they win 31-21.
Oh boy. I mean, even 31-13 gets the job done. I do not see Penn State scoring 21 points in this game unless Ohio State has some weird fluky turnovers.
Yeah. That's
I
fair.
I could see Penn State scoring like 3 in this game.
That's very true too. But I mean, right now they're gearing up off a bye in a game where now we like Iowa. Let's be honest, they were in an opportunity to win and couldn't. I don't think they're a live dog to win by any means, but they're just off a bye, and they now have the two biggest games of their season with Ohio State and Indiana. I think this is now a pride thing as well. And like I said, the talent is there. It's just like what's missing. If this game was a 3-point spread to Penn State preseason or a 1-point spread to Penn State, now you're telling me I get 20 free points and don't have to worry about Drew Aller fucking it up. That's really where my head is at with how impressed I've been with Ohio State. I just think that no one can survive. We just saw it with Oregon after everyone's been beaten up on Wisconsin. Oregon just had a weird game out in Eugene, 21-7 over Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And it's just like, these teams still have the talent to, fight and have some pride. So I just think 20.5 is just too big of a number. And this is the game where Ohio State is challenged a little bit.
Yeah. My lean would be with you on that. I think that's a really good take. And I'd probably also lean the under. I see it's down to 43.5 on what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'd readjust, actually. I would readjust. I would say 28-17. Ohio State.
17. Okay. We'll keep things rolling here at the 2:30 p.m. Central Times slot. We got Texas Tech taking on Kansas State. Texas Tech is favored by 7.5 in this game. The over/under is 57.5. Is there a reason why you have +1 on the graphic?
Yeah. Typo.
Just a typo. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if like K-State had a major injury or something.
You mean Texas Tech?
Or Texas Tech, yeah.
Because yeah, it's 7.
Okay, cool.
And 52. I just typoed that graphic there. It's 52.5 and 7.
Gotcha. So as far as this game goes, I mean, I'll kind of cover the K-State side here briefly. I mean, it looks like that this is a squad that's obviously had a very turbulent season. They've had some really bad losses throughout the year, but lately they have kind of got things back on track. They've won 3 out of their last 4, including 2 games in a row. Most recently, taking care of TCU by 13 points and then beating Kansas by 25 points. So all of a sudden, this K-State team is starting to gain some confidence and play some good ball. We all know Texas Tech and how good they've been this year. Their last game was a 42-0 win against Oklahoma State, but before that, they lost to Arizona State on the road. So this should be a tough game for Texas Tech going into this environment against a confident K-State team. But what do you think?
Yeah, when you look at common opponents, just a weird little coincidence. They both beat Kansas 42-17. So no edge and advantage there. I think the one thing that we're not, and no one's really talking about the most, since no one's really talking about Texas Tech at all, really, is the defensive stats just eye popping for this team. Top 5 in a lot of advanced categories, especially against the rush. We know Kansas State's going to want to try and keep the ball on the ground. So, although I know they're trending upwards, I really do believe and kind of fear this Texas Tech team with how much they're flying under the radar and how impressive they've been. They have been able to skate by with maybe a less impressive schedule of Big 12 teams. Obviously losing to Arizona State, maybe the best opponent they've played. But we just talked about Houston at the top of the show being 7-1. Texas Tech, that was a best bet of the week for me. And they could have won that game by 50 with how many field goals they settled for. Like they were just nonstop turning Houston over, and so that's another 7-1. And then we all saw the dismantling of Utah. So if you want to say they've played lesser opponents, I'd kind of push back on you there. So this game is at a weird number, right at that touchdown number. That if it gets to 6.5, I would actually pull the trigger on the road favorites against the trending home dog.
Sure. Yeah, this game should really tell us just how serious Texas Tech is about potentially making noise in the college football playoff, assuming they get there.
And potential look ahead spot for Texas Tech welcoming in a possible undefeated BYU next week.
Yeah, man.
You're the judgment of look ahead spots because I'll just call them out in any good game on the next part of the schedule. Can Texas Tech look ahead?
I think there's a small piece of validity that you have to take into account because that is a big game, but Texas Tech's coaching staff all week is fucking drilling into these guys. Pause. Guys, road game, K-State. Look at K-State. Look at how much they've improved. We gotta come in with the right mindset.
Yeah, I think if you didn't lose to Arizona State, more of a look ahead situation, but having that one loss probably gut check.
I agree. Is Baron Morton playing? Is that the plan?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. I know he's just been in and out seemingly all year.
Seemingly?
Seemingly.
Okay.
Yeah, you heard me right.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the 6:30 p.m. Central Time slot. We can go Big Ten or we can go SEC. You know what? Let's go Big Ten first because the SEC game is more fun to talk about. So let's talk USC at Nebraska, NBC. USC is a this number's gone up. Hold on. USC is a 6.5 point favorite, and the over under is 58.5. So Lincoln Riley finally get it done on the road against a team not named Purdue.
We're on different sides here. I think it's an easy USC play here. Just far superior in every single aspect. I have no idea what you're doing over there, but maybe you're throwing me off so much I should pick Nebraska.
Like, dun 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 dun. Go ahead. Just mayor being mayor.
Yeah, of course. I mean, USC top 5 in the country and avoiding the sack.
It's a fake stat.
And 13th in the country in getting to the quarterback. And we all know that Nebraska cannot. Their offensive line is shredded. Like Minnesota just had Jared Allen and Myles Garrett on their line. I think they sacked Raiola 10 times in their game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a bad matchup. I don't care about under the lights, Riley. Man, this is shaping up for an interesting card with back-to-back road favorites.
Yeah.
And it is, well, technically spooky season expires. We enter holiday season November 1st. So no spooky seasons.
So you think Nebraska is still going to wear their All Blacks? I bet they will.
No, they are. They're supposed to. So is Ohio State. I like Ohio State's All Blacks, but I don't like the blackout attempt. Like, it's not a primary color.
For Ohio State?
Yeah, they're trying to do a blackout game this week.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
So you like USC? I mean, I agree. USC is definitely the better team here. Nebraska has had their opportunities; they have failed. They're still 6-2. They'll still, make a bowl game, whatever. But no, this ain't the team. Now they are at home, and you do have Lincoln Riley on the road. And until USC shows you otherwise, why would you want to tail them? Because they just continuously let you down time after time. I guess last week they did cover against, or 2 weeks ago they covered against Notre Dame though. So
They did.
that was cool.
It is, however, just an unstoppable force versus a movable object. USC third in the nation in passing yards per game, and Nebraska second in the nation in passing yards allowed at only 136 yards a game. That is a small number, folks.
Yeah, I got to imagine a lot of that is who they've played and maybe some weather. Look, I don't have a play in this fucking game. I would probably trust your judgment here with USC. You know, Fade King needs to be smart. So USC's the better. USC's the better team. They're off a bye. Their most recent game was a road game, so you got to think that they are ready to go in and make some shit happen. And they also don't have to travel as far from California.
That is an ugly schedule. At Notre Dame, bye. At Nebraska. Just a note.
Yeah. All right. Enough of that dog shit game. Let's move on to an interesting game. Oklahoma at Tennessee. We got Tennessee as a 3.5-point home favorite. Over under 56.5, 6:30 p.m. Central, ABC. Burns, I am concerned about our Oklahoma Sooners. So please give me some confidence as to why they might bounce back, because I am very, very concerned.
Yep. One of the leaders in the country in havoc rate, early downs per play in positive for the defense, and average distance on third down. This defense has all of them. Now, granted, we just saw a tough game versus Ole Miss. Matier's going to get healthier every single day. He started to look a little better in the last game where he's showing me signs. And now they have nothing else to play for besides winning out. Tennessee, on the other hand, they did what they had to do against Kentucky. I meant to add it to the card, but just a bad matchup for Kentucky with the air attack that they come to play with in Aguilar, and his almost 2,000 yards passing through 9 weeks, 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. But other than that, got handily beat by Alabama. Arkansas took him to the wire. Mississippi State took him to the wire. They led up 24 to UAB, 44 to Georgia. This defense is trash, Alex. Mm-hmm. And this is a game for Matier to get right. 34 points to Kentucky? Are you fucking kidding me? This is a game for John Matier to put the team on his back and say, defense, get me a couple stops, which if you're going to trust the defense here, you're trusting Oklahoma over Tennessee.
100%.
And so Oklahoma wins outright. They'll be on my card. And I just think it's a better matchup for Oklahoma. And it's by far, the best defense. All those teams that Alabama has question marks. Georgia has big question marks on defense. Arkansas, Mississippi State, Kentucky. This is by far the best defense they've seen.
You would think that Oklahoma's defense will come to play in this spot. And you would also think that Oklahoma should be able to run the ball a little bit more effectively, an area that they've struggled throughout the year, that they should be able to run the ball a little bit better against Tennessee's defense.
Yeah, very weak. One of the worst pass explosive defensive teams, not getting much havoc, rush yards per play. They just are lacking the quality when it comes to all the advanced statistics we look for when we want to bet a side. And Tennessee's defense just doesn't have that crap.
You like the over or the under?
I would stay away from the totals just because who knows what happens, fourth quarter when Oklahoma's up 17. Tennessee gets a little more willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's up 21 in the fourth. Might be some garbage time points back and forth.
Sure. Huge game for both squads. And then the
Very huge.
final big game that we are covering.
It's an elimination game, really.
What's that? The SEC game?
No, yeah, Oklahoma at Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Final game here, Cincinnati taking on Utah. Utah is laying 7, over under 56.5, 9:15 p.m. Central, ESPN. Dude, if Cincinnati wins this game, they going to the playoff.
Well, hold on. BYU's still there, but that would be at home. BYU's got a tight little run there. Get Texas Tech, Cincinnati back-to-back weeks. They're going to really have to earn it to get into that playoff. And TCU to end the season. Cincinnati has a gauntlet to end the season here. So we finally get to see, listen, it was impressive last week beating Baylor by 3 scores. And being able to continually show up on offense. But what's the old saying, Alex?
Utah at night.
Utah at night at home. It's defense travels, not offense travels. And Cincinnati's defense, less than appealing to me to compete in such a hostile, impressive environment. We expect Devin Dampier to possibly be back. And Utah's defense brings havoc. They play well against the pass. They're top 10 in all advanced categories we want to see against the pass. This is a pretty easy bet. It's Utah money line.
Utah money line?
Like, what is it? 7?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's go Utah spread. I thought it was 4.5.
I'm showing. Well, maybe it is.
No, it's not. No,
it's not.
Yeah, I'll take Utah -6.
Oh, geez, it's 9.5.
It's 9.5 now?
It is 9.5.
Okay, I'll take that.
I think I agree. This is a really tough game for Cincinnati with all the points that you just mentioned. And although their play has been impressive this year, when you really start looking at who they've played, it's been a pretty weak schedule.
It's been a pass-friendly schedule. Like, for their offense, it's kind of worked out. Like, in the one game they were supposed to get tested, like both of Iowa State's starting defensive backs, and their fourth best one are all out.
Yeah.
So
it's a good way to put it.
Fool's gold.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I would lean Utah as well. And I believe, is College Game Day there this week?
Yes.
Yeah. Give me Utah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's not as big of a game. Starting to get up there towards double digits.
Right.
Let me get their money line.
-375. All right. Week 10 slate games of note. Let's go. So we're going to start with an academy game. We got Army taking on Air Force. Air Force is laying 2, over under 49.5, 11 a.m. Central. CBS. Last time we took a academy under, it blew up in our faces. So what are you thinking?
Persevere. Gotta persevere, Alex. This line has already moved down to 48.5 in some spots.
Mm-hmm.
So gotta hop on it at 49.5 if you can still get it. We're taking the under. Navy, a much more superior offense.
Army.
No, I know, but in the game of mention, Navy versus Air Force, where that game just cruised over. Like, Navy's offense is much more capable of big plays, explosive plays. Army, not so much. This is going to be more of wanting to keep this as much of an academy game as possible. So we just have to do it again. I mean, when a play in the last 25 years is at 86%, You just got to take it.
It's good logic. Sometimes the 14% will hit, like last time.
Exactly. So we've got, so we're taking the under in that game.
Okay, I like it. And as far as the side goes, on my book, I'm showing a pick 'em, essentially. Do you have a lean?
Air Force.
Air Force.
I think with how bad their defense has been, almost dead last and everything, their offense can carry past, very middle of the road Army team. And I think Air Force has kind of been an unfortunate benefactor of a few losses they didn't deserve this season.
Okay. All right, we'll keep it moving. Navy on the road taking on North Texas. We have North Texas laying 6.5 points. Over under is a whopping 65.5. 11 a.m. Central, ESPN2. What are you thinking in Navy, North Texas?
It's a massive game, Alex. Did you know this is a humongous game for playoff standards?
How so?
Well, Navy's undefeated, 7-0. North Texas is 7-1. And so this is a major, major game in the American Conference.
Wow.
Obviously, Mustamaker, a big fan of this guy. We were on team total over on Tuesday night. Or it was a midweek game last week.
Friday against Charlotte.
Okay, Friday. You're right. Friday. On a midweek game over, team total 44.5 points at plus money.
Yeah.
This guy goes out and throws for 600 yards.
Insane.
600 yards. And they took him out. Like, they still had a drive to finish. Like, he could have just gotten, up to the 650 mark. But no. I'm concerned about Navy being able to keep up here. North Texas, however, don't let Charlotte fool you there. I just think if Navy sticks to its guns and runs the triple option, they can stay in this game. But if they get cute with Horvath and start trying to throw around the yard, it could get ugly for the Mean Green. And this will lead right into I think, on deck, Navy has Notre Dame. So is it a look ahead spot to the game they always get demolished in?
I don't think so. Not with the season that they're having yet again.
It actually give me Navy money line because it's always seems like Notre Dame gets a undefeated Navy to just be like, oh, well, we beat undefeated Navy team to add to their schedule.
So on that logic alone.
Yes. Nothing about the game.
Okay. Anything else?
All good.
All right. Miami. As Morgan Wallen would say. Miami. As you pointed out earlier, maybe before the show, this is Miami's first game of the season outside of the state of Florida. And folks, it is November 1st. Can we get an investigation, please?
It's just smart scheduling. Teams that don't schedule in state, it's like this is what happens.
Yep, Cristobal's a fucking genius. They travel to Dallas, Texas to take on Southern Methodist University. Miami is a 12.5 point favorite. Over under 50.5. 11 a.m. Central, ESPN. I'll tell you this, man. At first glance, seems like a little too many points. This is a weird, tricky spot. Miami's first game out of the state of Florida. SMU with a really frustrating ass loss, I'm sure, if you're a Mustang fan, last week against Wake Forest. I mean, what the fuck? 13-12? I mean, come on.
On a field goal that looked like it still wasn't good every time I've seen it.
Yeah. So will SMU be able to get off the mat? I think so in this spot, playing at home against Miami. But what do you think, Burns?
Yeah. Listen, a weak spot you're going to find in Miami's defense is through the air. And unfortunately, that's one of the weaker spots of SMU's offense is through the air. So when a team wants to run the ball, or at least do what they can to run the ball, uh, I'd actually see the under 50.5 maybe. But yeah, I don't know if I want to touch the spread. I would probably lean towards SMU because we talked about it's completely egregious to write off Miami losing to Louisville, even though it was at home. 4 interceptions, you're still a drive away from either tying or winning that game. And then we give them all that benefit of the doubt, and they come out against Stanford, and it's 7-7 at half. So I don't know. You've talked about it so much with the crystal ball factor of like, coaching in college does mean something versus like NFL bets. And they were able to ramp it up, score 35 nothing second half there, but that's concerning to me that they didn't get off that mat and just blow the doors off Stanford right from the jump. So SMU seems like the play.
I'm with you. That's how I see it as well. And we've seen Miami struggle on the road in, I guess in recent years, just last year alone. I remember they lost to Syracuse, and I think they had another bad loss. I don't know. But
I've had a lot of them.
They have. That's an interesting one. Another interesting one is a rivalry game in Jacksonville, Florida, where we have UGA taking on the Florida Gators. People get in their RVs and start camping out for this game on Tuesday.
Are you telling me you're coming to me live from an RV?
Not quite. But hashtag Southern things. Florida, 7.5-point dog, over under 50.5, 2:30 p.m. Central, ABC. Last year was the game when Florida had a third-string quarterback, and he actually competed pretty well in that game once Lagway got hurt. Florida looked good. Lagway got hurt. Georgia ended up winning the game. Obviously, this game has a lot going into it because Georgia is competing for a playoff spot with only one loss on the year. And then on the other side of things, you got Florida, first game without Coach Billy Napier in a very much a rivalry game. So I'm going to defer to you, as I typically do, especially this season. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah. I mean, do we have the dead cat bounce situation here? Because Florida has they have the talent. Preseason 15, right? Because we love preseason rankings.
Yep.
Lagway with a negative touchdown to interception ratio, 8-10, concerning. They've had trouble passing the ball, ranking bottom 20 in the entire country in total EPA when passing. That's tough because that's how you're going to win against Georgia. That's how you're going to get points is through the air. They've been very un-Georgia-like and kind of just low-key ass when it comes to secondary play. So if you want to battle him on the ground, there's still going to be just completely physical, dominating on the ground. So this is going to be a live bet situation. First drive, if Lagway's sharp and they're able to put together some nice plays through the air, I'm fully happy with taking even Florida outright. But if they come out and they go like 3 and out and they're just like off target, it could be get ready to go to work.
Trouble.
Could be a long day for the Gators.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the opportunities are to win, and you're going to have an opportunity to win if you're Georgia on the ground as well, but it's really going to come into play on Florida's pass game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you mentioned that. Like, you look at Florida when they played Texas a few weeks back, when they beat Texas, and Lagway had a QBR of 94 in that game. He played outstanding. Yep. But then you see him in a game against like Texas A&M the following week, and it was dog shit. So I don't know. I really haven't been overwhelmed with Georgia this year. I mean, I really haven't been overwhelmed with a lot of teams in college football, but the traditional powers like Georgia, yes, they're a good team, similar to Alabama, but they're not a great team. And I definitely know Florida is capable of possibly even winning this game, but definitely staying within the 7.5. But how are they going to respond with the new coach? What's the game plan going to look like? All interesting things to take into account.
Yep, 100%.
All right, 6 p.m. ESPN, staying in the SEC. South Carolina taking on Ole Miss. Ole Miss is laying 12.5. Over under is 54.5. Why wouldn't I just lay it and forget it? Lay it and forget it. Give me the Rebels. Lay it, forget it.
I know, that's what we thought last week, right? I mean, the one redeeming factor of South Carolina is their defense.
It's okay, I guess.
I mean, they're very physical. They're big boys. They could stop the run. Fortunately for them, Ole Miss, they don't care about the run. They're willing to show up and just throw that thing 60 times. Ole Miss's defense, though, is terrible against the run. And that's what South Carolina's going to do, Mayor. They're going to try and run the ball with what little talent they have at offensive line. I mean, you watched it a couple weeks ago when you were on Oklahoma and just how little push they can get. So, yeah, down there in Oxford, I'm only going to say it's a stay away game for me because it is such a weird game. But I would probably side with you and say just lay them.
Yeah. Chambliss has been so impressive in my eyes. He really has passed just about every test. Well, the game that they lost, that was a 43-35 game against Georgia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Like you said, maybe Carolina finds some success offensively on the ground or something, but boy, that Ole Miss team looks really, really good and won a win last week. They're in a good position to make the playoff currently as it stands. And then
I am worried about. Do we know Kewan Lacey's injury status?
I don't.
Okay. I know he got banged up last game. Want to make sure that he's good. So I'll find that. You talk about the next game.
Yeah, for sure. So we mentioned earlier, Georgia Tech has 3 wins on the year where maybe they didn't deserve to win based on the numbers. And they are still undefeated on the season. Georgia Tech competing for a playoff spot, folks, right in the mix. And they are at NC State. You got Georgia Tech as a 5.5-point road favorite. Over under 57.5, 6:30 p.m. Central, ESPN2. I mean, look, man, this is the classic type of game where NC State is kind of a slightly below average team, but they're at home. It's a night game. They have an opportunity to play spoiler. And we have kind of seen the writing on the wall a little bit with this Georgia Tech team, where they have kind of been skating by in several of their games. This is going to be a really, really difficult game for Georgia Tech to come out with a win, in my opinion. I definitely think they're on upset alert. I will definitely 100% be playing NC State plus the points. The crowd, I would imagine, is going to be into it, and they're going to want to see their team take down an undefeated team. And yeah, just a lot of factors going NC State's way. Obviously, I think Georgia Tech is a better football team, especially like on a neutral field. But give me NC State. Give me NC State in this spot, especially at night, at home. I like it.
Sure. Yep. Just need this defense to show up. Didn't pat myself on the back for the Pitt game. Do that now. Pitt absolutely mollywopped NC State last week. God damn, Pitt's right there.
Yeah.
I might take a future on them. I'm so bought into that team. Just to sneak into the ACC championship because I agree. I think NC State lines up well in this spot. Home dog situation. The best part of their defense is against the run. See some strong indicating factors on their success rate against the run, top 10 in the country. Now, if you want to get it through the air, if they start turning it up, Brent Key's like, all right, Haynes King is throwing it for 35 this game. All right, then we're in trouble. It's like, all right, we didn't see that coming. How could we see that coming when they've been so focused of staying on the ground? So I'm going to join you with NC State. But if you start seeing Georgia Tech throw the ball heavy first half, get ready to potentially buy off of that.
Yeah.
Haynes King only 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions passing this year. That's wild through 9 games for
How
a starting
strange.
quarterback.
Yeah. Very
10,
strange.
10 touchdowns on the ground, though.
Damn. Call him Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, no shit.
All right. Those are the games of note. And now it's sicko mode time. We're going to start. Keeping it in the ACC. We got Duke. We haven't seen Duke since they. Wait, I could be lying. Have they played since that Georgia Tech game? Man, that was a gross game.
Yeah. No, they haven't. They've been on a bye.
Okay. So Saturday, 11 a.m. Central, Duke taking on Clemson. Clemson is a 2.5-point favorite at home. Over-under is 55.5. What do you think?
Is Cade going?
That's just what I was literally looking up.
I mean, at this number, it has to be saying that Cade Klubnik's playing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Clemson should not be favored in this game without him. But does that mean we buy back in? I mean, they were playing well until he got hurt. And just kind of really blew up the whole season. They were still kind of fringe alive going into that SMU game and just lose. So when we look at defenses versus offenses here, Duke's going to want to throw the ball with Mensa, and we have Clemson that their strength is going to be in their secondary. And then, they're pretty strong against the run. So, but when it comes to Clemson's offense, without Klubnik, they are one of the worst running teams in the entire country. So if they can't get that established and go one-dimensional, you have to think Duke stays within this number, even on the road, and potentially very live to win, because it's just a throw everything out the window season for Clemson.
Yeah. I kind of see it the opposite, just from the standpoint of Duke had their chance. They had their chance. They had their moment, and they blew it. And now
3-1 in the conference.
All right. So you're saying the playoffs is still a possibility?
Are we sure that do conference champions still get automatic bids even though they don't get top 4?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's right as well. So yeah, they're still alive for the playoff.
Well, if they're still alive for the playoff, that might change things. That might change things. I don't know. No play.
They got a look-ahead game next week if they were playing on hard court, Duke UConn.
Thought you were going to say Carolina.
Oh, that's in a couple weeks. Boy, hard court's back. Everyone get excited for the 17-leg parlays.
Oh, for sure. Dude, Duke. I don't know about Duke, dude. Maybe they just beat up on some bad teams, and I got tricked into thinking that they were, good.
I mean, they were driving the entire – it was one of the weirdest games. That was another negative success rate win.
Totally.
They were driving, doing whatever they wanted against Georgia Tech, and then just, going Little Giants mode inside the 5.
And of course, Clemson, right when you thought, like you said, they had the possible revival, they laid the biggest egg possible against SMU, while their defense gets fucking torched all day long. I mean, what do you want from me? I guess I lean Duke plus the points.
That's fair.
Okay, like you said, I guess it's SICKO SLATE for a reason. UCF, University of Central Florida, taking on Baylor. Yeah, that's sick. What do we got here as a line? Looks like we got Baylor laying 4.5, over under a 59.5, 11 a.m. Central, ESPNU. I mean, I don't know. You tell me, dude.
Yeah, what a season of what if from this Baylor team, man. They're just heartbreakers week in and week out. They did show up with expectations of bad defense, and they have held true to that at least. So props to them for doing that. But they continue to, man, just lose these games that could potentially change their season. They're on a 2-game slide now, and UCF is a team that wants to come up. They're like, we want to put our name in the hat for Big 12 superiority already early on. Just mollywopped West Virginia, stayed in contention with Cincinnati their last 2 games. They're off a bye. Give me UCF outright, baby.
All right.
Baylor season is over.
Let's go. Scott Frost, big win.
Big win. Huge win for recruiting.
All right. Yeah, Baylor's been a massive disappointment. Every opportunity they've had to maybe show up and win a game, they haven't done outside of the SMU game early in the season. Other than that, they've really been
mollywopped. Mollywopped by Auburn, who maybe has one of the worst offenses in the country.
Right.
Like, brutal.
Yeah, brutal is right. Now, another tough game. We got Rutgers. Man, did they pull out a win last week against Purdue, huh? 4-4 Rutgers go to Champaign. They take on the Fighting Illini, who just suffered a really tough loss against Washington that ends their college football playoff hopes and dreams. And Illinois is laying 12.5 points at home with an over-under of 62.5. Do you have a play in Rutgers, Illinois?
Man, I like to think that I would take the underdog here and the over. I mean, Rutgers has been a impressive offense that we keep talking about. And I know that over didn't hit last week in a Purdue team that has a lackluster defense, only 27-24. So I don't know, man. Do you see as Mr. Big Ten himself, especially Illinois Big Ten, the state, not the Champaign Fighting Illini? What do you see in this? Rutgers feels like they're getting disrespected here.
Yeah, it does seem like a bit of points here. Rutgers, I was higher on them just a few weeks ago, as recently as the Minnesota game, and then they got crushed against Washington in the second half, and then of course the Oregon game happens. But they did do a good job of getting off the mat. Burns, I think this game really comes down to Illinois and their mindset. Are they cooked? Like, they might be cooked. This is an Illinois team in the last 5 games that has played Indiana, USC. They had that road game against Purdue. Then they had to play Ohio State and on the road against Washington. This game, to me, feels like a sleepy spot, maybe a certain lack of motivation and focus in this type of game. So I would go with Rutgers plus the 12.5, because this is just a weird game mentally for Illinois to get ready to play.
That's fair. Do have a solid schedule with Rutgers starting Maryland, Wisconsin, Northwestern. to potentially sprint to a 9-3 Gator Bowl appearance.
Exactly.
So shaping up for that aspect to get off the mat. But yeah, 3 losses in the Big Ten. They're way out. So that's a good angle. You have to think a senior led team can get up off the mat.
Yeah.
I might look for a team total angle here with how bad Rutgers defense is.
Okay. Keeping it moving. Mississippi State at Arkansas. Spreading this one is 4.5. Arkansas is favorited, and the over-under is 67.5, 3 p.m. Central, SEC Network. I mean, God bless, dude. Mississippi State, they are on the longest freaking losing streak in the SEC, like of all time, and they're so close every single week. It seems like this is not a bad team. I don't think.
I don't think so either. You're right. It is a calamity of wild finishes. Both teams 0-4 in the SEC this year. So someone's getting off the mat. You can guarantee that. But I think it just comes down to Arkansas's defense is so fucking bad that they can't do anything to stop anyone. I mean, Auburn is putting up 33 on you. We just talked about Baylor. But I was a little concerned there. Auburn was my best bet last week on the money line as dogs. And I leave game day. Auburn's up 10-0. I get home, turn on the TV. Arkansas is up 21-10. I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck. I don't think Auburn has 12 more points in them to get the win. But obviously that changed. So I think a team with a little bit of defense is all that's needed to beat this Arkansas team. Petrino's reeling. I like what you said to me off air to start the show. How's Mississippi State dogs? Give me Mississippi State.
Same.
Blake Shapen's playing too well.
He is. He is. They should have beat Florida 2 weeks ago. They should have beat Texas last week, and they easily could have beaten Tennessee a few weeks back. This is not a bad team. And you got one squad that is building, and then you got another squad that is just trying to pick up the pieces and figure out where we want to go next. So Mississippi State plus the – go ahead.
And I was just going to say, and if they want to get bowl eligible, this is a must win because you close the season with Georgia, Missouri, Mississippi. So they're sitting at 4 wins now. You got to win this Arkansas game and then try and steal one of those final 3.
Yeah. All right. Well, now all of a sudden I'm very invested in that game. I am on Mississippi State.
Let's go.
All right. Moving into the night slate of the SICKO mode card, we have Wake Forest at Florida State. Yeah, that is sick. Florida State, 9.5 point favorites. Over under is 50.5, 6:30 p.m. Central, ACC Network. God dang. You put this on the card, so you tell me.
Oh man. This should be a Florida State hammer spot. But I watched that game versus Stanford, and maybe it's just on us for not taking our own advice. Because if you rewind to whatever week 2, whenever Stanford played Hawaii, I was just like, I said verbatim, Stanford is going to be a thorn in the ACC side for a few teams that aren't expecting them because they are a physical team. They might not have all the talent there, but they're very disciplined in everything they do. So maybe that's a just look past game when it comes to Florida State because they are so much more talented than Wake. And you're telling me I'm getting them under double digits? It should be a no-brainer. But this Wake defense has just kind of been nagging everyone. I mean, they should have won the Georgia Tech game. Referees blew that for them. Hung in there with NC State. They steal one from SMU last week. ACC, not Big 12. We'll go ahead. They beat Virginia Tech. Oh, man. Their offense is so fucking bad. But they just might stay within the number, Alex.
I agree. I agree. That would be my lean. The numbers and the results support Wake plus the 9.5. But from a scheduling spot, when does Florida State get the hell up?
They've lost 4 in a row. I mean, Jay Norvell gets fired. Maybe the writing's on the wall, but 4 in a row.
I know, right? Especially after last year. I think, honestly, dude, if this game was more under the radar as far as like what we're talking about, like, oh my God, Florida State needs to win the game. Like if we weren't having that discussion, I'd be more inclined to take Wake plus the points. But I think I gotta just lay off this game. Maybe a slight lean to Florida State.
That's fair. And Clemson on deck. What that game could have been.
Yeah.
Florida State, Clemson.
Jameis versus Deshaun.
Yep.
Final game here. Washington State taking on Oregon State. Pac-12 matchup. Pac-2 matchup, excuse me.
Thank you.
Oregon State, 2.5-point home dog. And over under 50.5. 6:30 p.m. Central. CBS. Boy, looks like Washington State has found a little something here recently, huh?
Yeah, it does. Certainly does. Although, man, Toledo really did whatever they could to just give that game away. Got to be honest. Toledo generated 10 tackles for a loss. They turned the ball over multiple times on Washington State. I mean, their defensive front was just bullying these Cougars. And then Toledo's offense just goes out there and plays one of the worst offensive games I've ever seen. So, that being said, do you know why I really included this game?
Oh,
First of 2 times these teams play in the month.
that's crazy.
So they'll meet again on November 29th. So home and home matchup.
Huh.
So we get to see if, man, and it's a CBS game. That's so crazy. Yeah, I think you're right, though. Washington State has kind of found something traveling with the, Toledo has been a good defense, but traveling and playing Power 4 schools and sticking around, Oregon State is completely out on the season, 1-7. Washington State's still trying to get to a bowl with all these FCS guys. Give me Washington State, baby.
Yeah, I think I agree. Oregon State is off a bye, so I don't know if that'll help them or not. Typically, it doesn't. Typically, the whole off the bye angle is kind of overblown.
Yeah, this isn't fucking Belichick and Brady coming out of that tunnel.
Yeah, I'd have to lean Washington State. Maybe that'll be a bet.
Hell yeah, brother. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Bet it. Don't be a pussy.
You're right. You're right. I'm betting it. Come on now.
All right. Mac Messiah time. Week 10. Hold on.
It's up to 3.5. I can't fucking bet that.
Yeah, you can. Easy.
All
right. Mac Messiah, week 9 results. 4-2 again, baby. And OU and Eastern Michigan owe us some points because that game we had the over 58.5. It was 14-7, 6 minutes into the first quarter. The end of the first half, Mayor, it was 14-7.
Mm-hmm.
So really fucked us there. Other than that, we had a couple outright wins. Didn't have the balls to take, but putting Kent State and Akron on your card takes a certain set of cojones. And boy, did it pay off. So
sure did.
Yep. 4-2. And then this week, we are only 2 games deep because we're back. In just 6 days from recording this, we'll have Tuesday night Maction and Wednesday night Maction back in your living rooms, folks. I cannot wait. I'll have a show, a small show, giving out the plays, obviously, since we bet every single Mac versus Mac game. This week, it looks pretty easy to me. If Bowling Green doesn't have Drew Pine back, Buffalo in a hammer spot here as a dog. tough loss to Akron last week, but they were in a huge negative success rate spot. Buffalo just completely shit the bed there. Central Michigan versus Western. Central just this is a weird game. I'm going to wait to add this one to my card because I'm still going back and forth. 40.5 seems too low, but at the same time, both of these offenses can do absolutely nothing through the air. Both have decent defenses, so I could see this game being a 17-13 final. So I would lean towards under, and I would probably lean towards the home favorite here in Western, and that would get us over the win total for the season too.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So, all right, short week, Mac Messiah. Thank you.
Love it.
Betting angles. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready for it? All right, let's go to the teaser first. Teaser. Let me bring her up here. Teaser week 10.
2-7 on the year, but up 2.5 units.
We're due.
6.5 point teaser pays plus 650 on FanDuel. All right, Xander, start us off.
Yeah, I'm going to stay in the MAC there. I just truly believe it's outrageous to give Buffalo points here. So get them up to 8.5, and then Vanderbilt, get them up to 8.5 as well, maybe 9, depending on where you can find that. And then Oklahoma, I'll tell you what, even if they lose, they're not losing by 10. So put that tease on the card.
All right. And myself, I'm going to go with Ole Miss, take them from minus 12.5 to minus 6 at home. Much better team. I like that play a lot. I'm going to take Kansas State at home, tease up to plus 14 against Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is a really good team, but I like the way K-State is trending. So I'll take 2 touchdowns at home. And then Florida, Georgia. Give me Florida plus the 14. This is a rivalry game. And I really just don't think Georgia is quite the dominant team that they've been in years past. So give me Florida to hang within 2 touchdowns on the neutral site.
So the Florida Georgia game, that's the line you draw?
For what?
Florida Georgia line. Draw.
Yep. You see, you're too witty for me, man. You know, I'm just talking ball.
In the fucking zone, people. This is his segment.
Right.
I mean, the guy is like batting 90% in teaser all year. Went 3-0 again last week. I mean, you got to be teasing this guy's play.
It's like I'm a bunt. It's like I'm a bunt specialist in baseball.
You're the man. Who's the fucking? Sorry to compare you right now, but just in this point, who's the dog shit White Sox player that hit a home run at home in the playoffs? It was
Leury Garcia.
Leury. Yeah. You're the Leury guy.
Yeah, I'm Leury.
Right now. Not career.
That's fair.
All right. Money line parlay for the dogs. A little shorter this week. A little bit of more compact. There's a lot of teams on a bye this week. So smaller schedule. Oklahoma, Vandy, Temple, and ASU. All getting it done. Gets us home. Gets us to the doghouse at 46-1.
Wow.
Get us home, baby.
ASU, huh?
Yep. They're just having the wackiest season of all time.
Yeah, ASU could do it because Iowa State's really been struggling.
I mean, they're not getting healthy in defensive backfield because there are season-ending injuries. So it's just like Sam Levin and Jordan Tice could do whatever they wanted. Just can their defense kind of stop Iowa State's physicality?
Yep.
That's really all. And then let's go ahead and look at the quad box here. I'll pull up the slate for you, and we'll build our quad box. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Wonderful. And then we'll unveil laser. All right. How's that look? All right.
Sweet.
All right. Noon games. Smaller slate. Couple spots here. Wouldn't mind taking. I could see three that jump out.
Don't hate the early slate.
Yep. Okay. Let's get to the 3:30 slate. Or 3. Louisville, Virginia Tech. Didn't talk about that. All right, there's a 3:30 slate. Ooh, pass. I can already tell. Pass.
Yeah, we can pass.
And then the night slate. Night moves. All right. This also has a good little cavalcade of games.
I'm gonna let you pick because I feel like I've picked the last couple.
Let's go noon. We got more options up at noon.
All right.
I think we go Vandy. Vandy money line.
Vandy. Okay.
You're good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. And then I think we go Penn State and we move the number to 24.5.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Risky.
It is risky for sure.
We should
But
tease the number. We should tease the number up and take the under.
It's 43.5.
Yeah, maybe.
I
Penn
think
State go 24.5.
It's minus 186. I think that's fine.
All right. Let's see if those bombs cover.
Do we take the Service Academy under?
Yeah, you sounded confident in that one.
We can add a few points to get like over a 27-24. We can go under 51 and a half instead of. Yeah.
All right. Let's do that.
Okay. And then I'm going to let you take this one, Alex.
Okay. SMU plus 12.5.
Squint your eyes. Find the game. Let it come to you, son.
SMU plus 12.5.
Wow. No.
Or should we go?
Half?
Or should we go Rutgers?
No, because I mean, if Illinois does show up to play, they can easily throw the ball all over Rutgers. Should we go 14.5 for SMU instead of 12?
Yeah, sure.
Just get over that key number.
Yeah.
I think that's a good move. So that would get us to, oh, look at that. Plus 850.
Ooh.
That's nice.
Come on now.
QUADBOX is plus 850. So just going over that again, it's the Service Academy under to 51.5. It is Penn State plus 24.5. Vanderbilt money line. And we have SMU plus 14.5.
Love it.
All right.
I
so
for that right now.
For the final new segment of the week, it's our week 10 pleaser. So what's this going to consist of? A pleaser is when you take 6 points and you add it in the direction that gives you a disadvantage. So, for example, Penn State is 20.5-point dogs. If I wanted to please them to 6 points, that would then give me Penn State plus 14.5 instead of the teaser where they would give me plus 26.5. So the plus 14.5 would be around plus 190. And you got to shop these lines around because DraftKings tried to fuck me. Just giving that pleaser just nice and clean. It gave me 45 to 1 odds.
Okay.
I go and make it by hand in FanDuel, 65 to 1. Same exact bet.
Wow.
You got to go make these. You got to shop these lines. You got to.
Yeah, you do.
So I have 2 plays for my first ever pleaser, and one of them's very ugly. You know what? They're both very ugly because one's going across the line. And I feel like in a pleaser, you got to get ugly to pleaser. Am I right?
For sure.
South Alabama -3.5 to -9.5. And then Oklahoma +3 to -3. Pleaser.
Love it. All right. Here are my picks for you. Let's go with Mississippi State from +4.5 to -2.
Okay.
I mean, that one is like, come on, man. um, and NC State from +5.5 to -1.5 or whatever that would be.
-1. We're just going 6 here.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Woo wee. We've got 3 games going across the boundary. Look at this pleaser here. We've got Mississippi State -2, Oklahoma -3, NC State -1, and South Alabama -9.5. Holla if you hear me.
Whoop, whoop.
That should pay 65 to 1 on FanDuel.
That's crazy.
Yep. So, man, if that hits week 1, that might be it.
Yeah, retirement.
Yeah, retirement. Might just be hanging out in the bigwigs section of all the casinos now.
Man, I love this. I love this play. I love this play.
A little fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have any early bets that you're placing?
Yeah, I got 3. Give me Ole Miss -12.5 against South Carolina. I'm going to go with Mississippi State +4.5 against Arkansas, and I'll take NC State +5.5 against Georgia Tech. There will be more to come.
Okay, that's good. Obviously, this won't be out by now, but if you're listening during the premiere, I'm on Missouri State and FIU over 50.5. If you're not following our Twitter, we're having a pretty good 49 straight days of football. We're currently 14-6, and we've turned $10 into $430 banked. So we've suffered a few losses, but we have not lost our entire wad. So that's a $10 investment that you could still be sitting with. No other reinvestment. Pretty good. So that's our play tonight. Okay, Buffalo money line is an early play already. Vanderbilt money line under in the Academy game, 49.5. Looks like that's coming down. So please get that in as early as possible. And then I'm going to wait to bet the Ohio State-Penn State game. I feel like a lot of public money is going to maybe move that line over to 21.5.
Yeah.
So hold off on that one. I like Florida at 7.5 right now. I'll probably bet that tonight. And other than that, see the cards on Fridays. On Friday, yeah, pretty small early slate for me this week. Oh, and Oklahoma money line too. That was at 3.5, 4 early in the week. So I like that now. It's down to 3. Bucket add NC State to the card too. Woo. I'll place that today.
All right.
I like where your head's at in there.
Cool.
Oh, and Utah I already see it -10. Got to get it under -10. Go find Utah -9.5 wherever you can. Sorry, Cincinnati. It's over this week. You still have a chance, but for now it's over.
Party's over.
All right. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. See you guys.
Goodbye. Love you.